Ancient Greece, one of the foundational civilizations of the Western world, profoundly influenced numerous aspects of modern culture, including philosophy, politics, art, science, and religion. Its history, spanning from the early Bronze Age, circa 3000 BCE, to the conquest of the Greek world by Rome in the 2nd century BCE, is marked by political innovations, intellectual achievements, religious traditions, and military conflicts. The history of Greece is traditionally divided into several periods, starting with the Minoan and Mycenaean civilizations, c. 3000–1200 BCE, which laid the groundwork for later Greek culture. The Dark Ages followed c. 1200–800 BCE, a time of reduced cultural activity. Around 800 BCE, Greece entered the Archaic Period, marked by the rise of city-states or poleis like Athens, Sparta, and Corinth. This period saw the development of the Greek alphabet, the foundation of Greek colonization, and the emergence of early forms of democracy. The Classical Period, 5th to 4th centuries BCE, is the zenith of Greek culture, marked by Athens' Golden Age, the philosophical works of Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, and the victories over Persia in the Greco-Persian Wars, 499–449 BCE. The Hellenistic period, following the conquests of Alexander the Great, c. 330 BCE, spread Greek culture across a vast area from Greece to Egypt and into the Indian subcontinent, blending with Eastern influences. Greek metrology, the system of measurement, was highly developed in ancient times and was fundamental to trade, architecture, and scientific study. Greek units were based on natural phenomena, with measurements such as the stad, a unit of length based on the distance around a racetrack, and the talent, a unit of weight, typically used in silver or gold. Greek architects used sophisticated measurement techniques to design temples and public buildings, and mathematicians like Pythagoras and Euclid developed mathematical principles that are still foundational today. Greek religion was polytheistic, with a rich pantheon of gods and goddesses who embodied various aspects of life and nature. The chief gods were believed to reside on Mount Olympus, led by Zeus, the king of the gods. Other important deities included Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, Apollo, god of music, prophecy, and the sun, and Artemis, goddess of the hunt. The ancient Greeks practiced numerous rituals, including sacrifices, festivals, and oracles, with the most famous oracle being that of Delphi, where the priestess would deliver prophecies attributed to Apollo. Greek mythology, full of gods, heroes, and legendary creatures, played a central role in religious practice, as well as in the arts and literature. Myths like the Trojan War and the labors of Heracles were integral to the Greek worldview and were depicted in literature, art, and drama. The history of ancient Greece was marked by numerous wars, both internal and external. Among the most famous conflicts were the Persian Wars, 499–449 BCE, a series of battles between the Greek city-states and the Persian Empire, including the famous battles of Marathon, 490 BCE, and Salamis, 480 BCE. The Greek victory over the Persians marked the height of Athenian power and influence. The Peloponnesian War, 431–404 BCE, a brutal conflict between Athens and Sparta, representing the struggle between democracy and oligarchy, and between maritime and land-based powers. The war ultimately ended in Athens' defeat, signaling the decline of Athenian supremacy. The Macedonian Wars, 4th century BCE. Following the rise of Philip II of Macedon and his son Alexander the Great, Greece was united under Macedonian rule, leading to the conquest of much of the known world, from Persia to Egypt and into India. Ancient Greece is particularly renowned for its political systems, especially the development of democracy in Athens. The Athenian democracy was one of the first forms of direct democracy in which eligible citizens could participate in decision-making through assemblies and voting. Prominent politicians such as Pericles led Athens during its golden age, overseeing the construction of the Parthenon and promoting cultural achievements. Other Greek city-states such as Sparta had very different political structures. Sparta was a militaristic oligarchy ruled by a small group of elites, with a focus on military training and discipline. The political system of Sparta was in stark contrast to Athens' more inclusive democratic model. Alexander the Great was perhaps the most famous Greek leader, whose conquests spread Greek culture across the known world, creating the Hellenistic era. His military genius and vision of a united world under Greek culture forever changed the course of history. The legacy of ancient Greece remains a cornerstone of modern civilization. Its contributions to philosophy, political theory, art, and science continue to influence contemporary thought. Greek mythology and religious practices have left a lasting imprint on literature and culture worldwide. The city-states, their wars, and their great leaders like Pericles and Alexander the Great shaped the course of history, and their innovations in politics and measurement laid the foundations for future generations.